What up, y'all? What up, y'all? I was once watching this video. Grant Cardone was talking, and he had two numbers on the board. He had $1 million on one side, and he had $60,000 on another side. And he was like, when people see $1 million, they instantly associate that number with the word hard, you know. And then he was like, I don't know, man. Like he was definitely changing the psychology of the way I think as he was talking. But he was like, I want to change your perception on these numbers. He said, I want you to look at $60,000 a year and think hard when you see that number, and then think easy when you see $1 million. Because he was like, people think about hard in terms of how hard is it going to be to get it, but then he was like, yo, is your life going to be easier or harder if you had $1 million? And he was like, obviously your life would be easier, you know. And then he was like, what if you have $60,000 a year and then you have a family of 5 or 6? He was like, is your life going to be harder or easier, you know? So, and then he was like, yo, so when you look at the lower number, think about hard, and think about easier the higher the number gets. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. But yeah, man, I was having a conversation with somebody, right? And I was like, yo, like recently I made like $600 in a week or whatever. And she was like, oh, that's awesome. And I was like, yeah, man, can't wait to figure out how I'm gonna do that in a day. She was like, yeah, that's insane. And it's like, why is that so insane, man? There's people that make 1 million a day, like, you know, billionaires. Like, you know how much a billion is? 1,000 million. You know, to get to that point, you have to get to times where you're making 500,000 in one day, 700,000, more than that, you know, to get to that number, you know. And it's like, why do we have such a hard time conceiving big numbers? You know what I mean? Is I don't know, but what I realized though is big stuff is only available to those that think big. You know what I'm saying? Like, and little things available for those that think small. You know what I mean? There's people with small-minded thinking, and they want big things, and it's like, yo, that shit's not available to you, because your mind won't ever let you. You know, you're gonna restrict yourself. You're gonna stay in a place where there's not much that's possible to you because of the way you think. You know what I'm saying? Because every time an opportunity comes, you're like, nah, it's not for me, or it can't possibly work, or you start rationalizing all these reasons why something can't happen for you when there's 1,000 other people that it's happening for. You know what I'm saying? If there's one person that did something, then there's a lot of other people that could do it too. You know what I mean? I was watching a video today, and he was talking about a 4-minute barrier. It was Les Brown talking. I got to post this video later. He was like, you know, before 1950 something, no man has ever ran 1 mile in under 4 minutes, you know, but then one man did it. And then after that, 20,000 people did it, including high school people. And he was like, what changed between 1950 and, you know, years later when so many other people did it? He said the belief system changed. The belief system on how not that many people could do it changed. You know what I mean? And it changed how many people, like, you know, and then more people were committed to trying to do it because they knew it was possible because one man did it, you know? So I don't know, man. There's so much this, you know, so much is possible, you know? And but gotta be, I was watching Jim Rohn one time. He was like, you got to do more than just motivate people. He was like, the key is education. He said, you motivate an idiot, you'll have a motivated idiot. And that's it. You know what I'm saying? And he was like, and I thought that was funny, but yeah, it's true. You know, like you got to know how to do something, and people confuse what they don't know how to do. Like they'll say, I can't do something. Don't confuse what you can't do with something that you have not yet learned how to do. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can't, quote unquote, can't control your emotions. Yes, you could. You just haven't learned how to. There's people raging with anger and they swear that they can't control it. And for as long as they keep telling themselves they can't, they'll never have the commitment for them to find out how to live a more peaceable life. And then when happy people come around and tell them it's possible for them to be happy, the angry person's going to be like, yeah, well, easy for you to say. You've probably always been happy. And it's like, yeah, but you don't know that though. You don't know what some happy people had to go through to get to the optimism. There's some people that are super optimistic now that were cynical before, you know what I'm saying? They didn't know how to be positive. Now they are, you know. But, you know, sometimes you'll meet somebody, you'll know them for a month or two, and you'll assume that they've always been that way. You know what I'm saying? But it's like you gotta take a part on yourself to mold your character. You know what I'm saying? Your life is a result. Your life is made up of words. You know what I'm saying? Like the words that you tell yourself or the words that society says that you believe, like your life, everybody's life, it's made up of words. You know what I'm saying? Like the Bible says the word became flesh and it dwelled amongst men, you know? And like every day, like your word is becoming flesh. Like if you tell yourself you can't do something, that becomes your actuality. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there's a quote that says the man that says he can't do something and the man that says that he could do it, they're both correct. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, to the level of your imagination is what's possible for you. You know what I'm saying? You just got to think big, man. Like I'll give you some examples. There's artists that swear they have to get signed, that you need a record label behind you. It's like, why would you ever believe that, considering that you could get on YouTube, SoundCloud, like you could figure out your own distribution. You could, you could create your own label. Every rapper wants to get signed to a major label, and it's like you don't need. It's not 1995 anymore, where that's the only way to make it. You know what I'm saying? There's not, three executive corporate men at the forefront deciding your future and deciding for you if you're marketable or not. Now you got the opportunity to put your content into the world, and if people like it, they'll watch it. You know what I'm saying? And you let the marketplace decide for you. You know what I mean? So yeah. Anyways, for those of you that make $20 an hour, $25 an hour, 30, whatever amount of money you make, you don't make. You know what I'm saying? They're not paying you for the time. Yes, it takes time to bring value. You're bringing value within an hour, and that's what you're getting paid for. Because if you got paid $20 an hour, you could sit home and do nothing. They're paying you for 8 hours of you doing something, and within those 8 hours, of course, that's the time that it takes for you to bring the value. But it's locked at that number. It's locked at $20. It's locked at 25, and maybe 5 years later, you'll get $1.75 raise, a $2 raise, and it's been 5 years, 8 years, and yeah. So one thing I know about rich people, all the richest people in the world, all of them are servants. All of them have a product or something. They're salesmen. All of them. You know what I'm saying? And they have a product, or just even a personal brand. They're just popular. Once people think that if you have a Instagram account and you have like 2 million followers, that it means nothing. It's like, how many opportunities you have because of that. Now people hit you up and they want you to endorse their product on your platform because you have so many viewers, and a percentage of your viewers are going to see their product being advertised and purchase it, and then you could get paid $2,000 for that, for one post, 5,000, 10,000, depending on your follower count. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, like definitely you could use social media to make money, because now with social media, you're like a corporate entity by yourself, like with no backing, like it's crazy how I could do a podcast. I could get on this thing and just, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a fucking radio station is what it is, and none of this shit was possible before, you know what I'm saying? And it's like the more advanced technology gets, the less people believe things are possible. You know what I'm saying? When there was a time, like now it's so much more realistic to live your dreams, to be an actress, to be a comedian. You know what I'm saying? Because getting yourself out there, it's possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, yes, it's hard to get famous on YouTube. Yes, it's hard to get famous on any of these social media platforms. But I tell you what, it's a lot harder in fucking 1993 when there was no social media. You know what I'm saying? Where you had to, go mainstream, and that was your only option. That was the only way of you getting seen, was for you to get on Saturday Night Live or whatever TV show, you know what I'm saying? So anyways, yeah, man. So I was just thinking about that conversation, and it was just crazy that, I was like, yo, I made 600 in a week. Can't wait to do that in a day, and then from there, can't wait to do that in 1 hour. Can't wait to, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, and I could feel her getting comfortable as I said that. Like, yeah, you're out of your mind. And it's like, how are you out of your mind? How am I out of my mind for believing that something ridiculous is possible? Well, yeah, it is ridiculous. Maybe that's why she thinks I'm out of my mind. But, that type of, the way money works, money is an energy exchange. You know what I'm saying? Like, you put in 8 hours of work per day, and in exchange, you receive compensation for it. So the thing about money is, you're bringing value. It's a value exchange, So if you're a doctor, if you work 8 hour shifts or whatever you do, within 8 hours, you bring, I don't know how much doctors get paid, $45 an hour or something crazy like that. 55. I don't know. Let's say you bring $50 per hour worth of value. The only way to get paid more is to figure out how to bring more value to the marketplace. And this is where people get, shit misconstrued, right? Because you'll look at rappers that you think they don't deserve to be rappers. What's up, Joanne? How you doing, man? you'll look at rappers that don't deserve, quote unquote, deserve to be rappers. But, if a rapper that you think is terrible or a singer or whatever, and they have 5 million followers, you know, you might think their music is trash, but they have 5 million people that are tuning into their stuff, downloading their music and purchasing their, what I mean? So which means they are valuable to those 5 million people. See, what's good and what's not good is usually a subjective thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not talking about morals. I'm talking about like, oh, this blouse is cute, or oh, these sneakers are good, or those pants are ugly, like this person is ugly. All that stuff is subjective. It's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? And anything you could possibly like, there's at least 2 million other people that like it as well, which means there's hope for you launching your personal brand or your product or your services or your sneakers, your clothing line. If you sell hoodies, I don't know what you want to do. But so yeah, the thing about money that I've learned is the question to ask is not how can I make $1 million? It's how can I serve 1 million people? Because in serving 1 million people, you will have $1 million. And if you serving 1 million people is only worth $1 to 1 million people, then the value exchange you'll receive in return is only $1 million. But if your services is worth $20 and you serve 20 million people, no, sorry, you served 1 million people, you'll get 20 million. You know what I'm saying? If your service is worth $50 and you serve 1 million people, you know what I'm saying? You get $50 million. Like, so it depends on what you have. And when you build a personal brand, you get to decide your prices. Like, what's the difference between a t-shirt that costs $5? No, let's say $15. $15 t-shirt and then another t-shirt that costs $150,000. You know what I'm saying? Or like, let's say, nah, that's a ridiculous number, but I'm sure there's $150,000 t-shirt that exists, but I'm gonna bring that number down. Let's say there's a t-shirt that costs $250, right? In comparison to another t-shirt that's worth $15. What the hell is the difference? They're made out of the same material. They're probably manufactured in the same factory. You know what I'm saying? They probably came out of the same country, same polyester or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, what makes them different is the difference is one is just a t-shirt. The other one is Gucci. The other one is Versace. The other one is name brand, personal brand. You know what I'm saying? When you develop a personal brand, you could price your shit how you want to. That's the reason Starbucks could charge you $3.50 for one cup of coffee. Meanwhile, you go to the convenience store down the block and it's coffee is $1.25. How come the convenience store can't charge $3.50? Because they would be out of their mind to charge that price. Why? Because they're not a personal brand. They haven't built their brand where they decide their own price and they decide this coffee is worth $3.50. Because you see these numbers that we put on, these price tags we put on t-shirts, cars, vehicles, and all that stuff. We make up these numbers. It's just a made up number. You could just put a number on there. You know what I'm saying? And some people might think that that number is ridiculous, but once you build your personal brand enough, you could take a $50 hoodie and turn it into a $400 hoodie. You know what I'm saying? And that's what people do all the time. That's what Jordan did with his clothing line. That's what, so anyways, so yeah, so the question is, how can I bring a ridiculous amount of value to the marketplace? But you see, the thing is that people want $1 million for doing nothing. And it's like, you have to do something, I mean, there's meme accounts and there's people that, they're not exactly talented and they have a huge following, but, like, and there's like Lil Tay or like, people like that, like people will follow them and I don't know, they're just entertained by their videos, and you might think that they're bringing no value, but that's your opinion. You know what I'm saying? That's not the opinion of those that follow this person. You know what I mean? So it's all subjective. You know what I mean? So that's why when I meet artists that are insecure, what's up, David? Work like crazy in a day, but get paid only a few dollars. It's not worth it. Don't just work hard, work smart. Yeah, I agree, man. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, man. My best day, right? In terms of money, in terms of the most amount of money I ever made in one day was $150 in 10 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. Shit blew my mind, yo. I was doing binary options, which is like Forex, which is like the only way for those of you that don't understand what the hell I'm talking about right now. It's like trading stocks, sort of, but it's like currency exchange. It's like, so it was binary options. You could look it up if you want to look up what that is. I made $150 fucking dollars. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I did that virtually by accident. Can you imagine if I knew what the hell I was doing? How much money I could make on purpose? You know what I'm saying? Like, and it just, this was like 2014. And ever since that moment, my mind was like, $150 in 10 minutes. There's people that work 8 hours and don't make that. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I got to figure out what the rich people are doing. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's saying get a job. It's like, bro, I've never seen a rich person with a typical job. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, all the people that are making it or doing something, they have a personal brand, they have a following, they have a, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, if you do what broke people do, you'll be broke. If you do what rich people do, if there was a man that said, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I think success could be copied and pasted. You know what I'm saying? Literally, like all this shit is formulaic. If you understand a formula and you apply it, you'll get similar results. I'm not saying that if someone has $10 million and they teach you how to do what they did, that you'll get exactly their bank account. But shit, if you make it to 500,000, that's a lot better than a 35,000 a year that you used to make. You know what I'm saying? You following their formula. So, so I don't think there's no secret to it as well. You know what I'm saying? I think it's just bringing value to the marketplace, bringing value to the marketplace. Like I have a friend and value is a perception. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're never looking, you're never, I don't think you're ever supposed to look for people that don't want your shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't make music for people that are not going to like it or criticize it, or it's for the people that like it, whoever those people are. And I'm not looking for a bunch of uninterested people. This is why entrepreneurs and salesmen get upset because they hate the word no. But you should be glad people said no. You know what I'm saying? Like, because every no is going to lead to a yes eventually. You know what I'm saying? Like, go knock on 2,000 more doors. Go knock on 5,000 more doors. But people don't have the compassion to want to do that because they're like, they get so crushed by a person said no. Like, what does it matter that you're selling a hoodie and someone thinks it is shit? That's their opinion. I think Minecraft is shit. And if you love Minecraft, we don't have to agree with each other. Like, you could play that game. That game is a complete waste of my time because it brings me no entertainment value. But it doesn't change the fact that that fucking video game sold over 250 million copies, you know what I'm saying, of a game that I think is not worth my time. I can't make that decision for people and say, oh, that game, since this is where people get egotistical and they try to impose their opinion onto others and say, because it's not worth my time, it shouldn't be worth yours. Like, I don't think that I have the right to say that shit. If you enjoy Minecraft, play the hell out of that game. Like, whatever, you know what I'm saying? I won't be caught playing that game because, like, it's just not for me. You know what I'm saying? I'm into different stuff. I like Uncharted. I like Spider-Man. I like Batman games. You know what I mean? So we all like different shit. Um, so yeah, like money is literally, um, we get paid. Everybody gets paid to solve a problem. We're problem solvers. Well, whatever job you go to, there's an issue that needs fixing and you're there to fix it. Whether you're the cashier, you know what I'm saying? Whether it doesn't matter what position you're in, you're the solution to a problem and the marketplace decides what you get paid. So if you only get paid $8.25, don't get mad that you get paid that much. Don't get mad at the marketplace for you getting paid that much. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's principles of money that you don't understand. Like, money is a fucking language, and if we don't speak it fluently, like, we'll never have a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Rich people know how to talk that shit, and that's why they have a lot of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, they found a way to make themselves more valuable to the marketplace. Like, some of you are getting mad that teachers don't get paid that much, firemen and police officers. You know what I'm saying? But it's like, yo, I know there's a teacher that I know who he could easily make $20,000 in 1 month. What's the difference between that teacher and other teachers? He built a fucking personal brand. His name is Jordan Peterson. This dude is incredibly smart. He gives a lot of lectures. He used to be a Harvard professor, like teacher, lecturer. And a lot of his lectures are available on YouTube. But he built a personal brand. He started uploading all of his videos. He built a following. People love him. People send donations, because a lot of people know who he is. People send donations. When he goes to speak, people show up. And he could easily make $10,000 in one night, 15,000. I'm sure he could. It's not because he's better than a teacher that's not doing that. It's because he positioned himself to be able to do that by building a personal brand. Now, when he goes to speak, when he goes to a city, you know what I'm saying? There's any city he goes to, there's probably 30,000 interested people that would love to come see him speak. You know what I'm saying? And out of 30,000, of course, not all of them are going to go. They got shit going on. Not all of them have the money. Not all of them could afford a $75 ticket to come see him speak. But out of 30,000 people, he's going to convert enough people for him to get paid a ridiculous amount for one night of speaking. Why? Because he built a personal brand. You see what I'm saying? Like, personal brand, popularity, right? Every time I say personal brand, you could just associate that with popularity. And there's a lot of things that we demonize. Two things that we demonize: money and fame, which could be a blessing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if used appropriately. The thing is that people want to be famous for nothing. Like, I want to be famous because I fucking have something to say. I have something of value that I think I could bring to a large audience that's, I believe, is worth their time listening to. It's the only reason I want to be famous. You know what I'm saying? The only reason I want to be a millionaire is because I have people around me that desperately fucking need money. And to those of you that don't care about money, this next message is for you. I need you to want to make a lot of that shit. Like, make as much of it as possible. First of all, I hope that you're a caring, giving person, because when you start winning, everybody around you starts winning, you know? And you might be like, man, what the hell am I gonna make a lot of money for just to give it away to people, you know? But it's like, yo, there's this world will, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna benefit from being a giving person. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's like around Christmas, man. I said this a lot in podcasts. I've always heard that it's better to give than to receive, and I've always wondered why that is. And it's because until you give, giving starts the process of receiving. You know what I'm saying? Like, you want a fucking banana tree, but you don't want to plant anything. So you have to give something. What are you giving? You're giving the earth a seed and you're watering it so that in return you get, you know, your fucking banana tree that you wanted. But you got to plant it first. You got to water it. You got to nurture it. You got to care for it. You know what I'm saying? So to want something without, you know, and then there's people that, you know, they want an above average lifestyle. They want above average income. You want to drive an above average car. You want to live in an above average city, have above average neighbors, but you don't want to get out of your above average mindset. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, as Jim Rohn once said, he was like, there's things that are just not available to you. In order for you to reach the things that are on a high shelf, you have to stand on the books that you've read. And that's how you reach the fancy shit that you're cut off from. You know what I'm saying? Because like, and mentorship is definitely something that's needed. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to have somebody that you can model your style after, your mindset after, you know, because the people you grew up with, they probably don't know nothing about money. They probably don't know how to make a lot of it. They probably don't know, you know what I'm saying? Like, all these things that I get on these podcasts and talk about, I didn't learn this shit from nobody that I grew up with. All of my mentors came from YouTube, and I never fucking met them in person. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, and, just people that inspired me to think different, you know, and through watching them, I changed a lot of things about the way that I perceive life, and it helped me. You know what I'm saying? I didn't always know how to control my emotions. You know what I'm saying? There was times where I would get mad over nothing, like for no fucking reason, you know? And now it's like, it's nearly impossible to get a reaction out of me because I've disciplined myself to be able to, you know what I'm saying? I've realized that, you know, if someone could get a reaction out of me, that they control the pace of my day. Like, my day is going according to how people are treating me, which means I'm never in control. And once I realize that I get the control back by me deciding how I'm doing and not other people, man, I took that control back so fast. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not trying to be a product of what another man decides that I'm going to be today. You know, some of you, somebody says something they shouldn't have said to you today, and then 2 weeks later you're still thinking about how I shouldn't have said it. And it's like, you don't know how they're indirectly molding your next 2 weeks. You know what I'm saying? And now you're a victim, and now somebody verbally abused you, and now, you know what I'm saying, instead of you having empathy for the person, caring about them, and then one day passes after they said what they said and you don't even think about it anymore. And then, you know, and like forgiveness, like, you know, it's powerful. It renders the act of injustice completely powerless against you to do anything against you. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't consider it to be anything. There's so many things in this world that matters only because you say that it matters. People talking shit about you behind your back, you know why that matters? Because you keep telling yourself that it does. Why doesn't it matter to me? It doesn't matter to me because I give people fucking full permission to say whatever you want to say behind my back, in front of me. You could speak to me in whatever tonality. Yo, you could talk to me in whatever manner you want to, and I'm gonna be in the same mood that I was in before you started speaking. Why? Because I control my mood, not you. You know what I'm saying? And however you're acting, I'm just gonna realize that maybe you're having a bad day. Maybe you're going through stuff. Maybe you're, you know what I'm saying? There's things that's making you be a certain way, and it's not time for me to take you personal. It's time for me to be empathetic, have compassion, and actually love my fellow man. You know what I'm saying? Because you know why we're so destroyed by each other? Because we don't give a fuck about each other. That's why. And it's usually the people that you don't give a fuck about that annoy you the most. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, why is this person talking about my marriage? And why is this person saying this about me? And saying, because they want to, man, because people do what they want to do. You know what I'm saying? And I realized that I am nobody to try to moderate the conversations in the locker rooms. Like, who am I to try to tell you what you shouldn't be talking about? You know what I'm saying? When I'm like, yo, talk about, you want to keep talking about me? Go ahead. Like, you know, so it's because that I give people full permission to say what the fuck they feel like saying behind me, that when I find out that they're saying these things, it won't even be an issue. Why? Because I give people full permission to say them. You know what I'm saying? It's so deep, you know, it's so crazy to the point that if I have one person that tries to ruin like 50 of my friendships, let's say if one person's the reason that 50 of my friends stop being my friends, I'm thankful to that one person that demolished all of my friendships. Why? Because you just exposed to me the people that I thought were my friends are not actually my friends, because your words carry so much weight that they actually consider what you said, to the point that they started to dislike me because of something you made up or something. You know what I'm saying? So I'm thankful to that one person that tried to that destroyed all of my friendships. Why? Because, he exposed who's really genuine and who's not. You know what I'm saying? I might have not known that before this one person who hated me tried to get the rest of the world to hate me. You know what I'm saying? So I perceive shit differently. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so stuff like that, people get destroyed by that. They're like, and then they try to check that person on their behavior. Why are you spreading this? Why are you doing that? You know what I'm saying? And I won't even have that conversation with people. You know what I'm saying? Why, in terms, I know why they're doing it. They're doing it because they have a mindset that makes their actions permissible. Behind every action, there's a justification. And until the justification dies, the person cannot change. They're bounded to that mindset until the justification it dies and gets buried and replaced with a new justification for living a life contrary to how they were living it. You know what I'm saying? So every behavior, there's justification behind it. So if you know someone who's constantly rude, someone that's always loud, someone that's always inconsiderate, there's justifications, man, that enable their behavior for them to be that way. You know what I'm saying? And they won't change by you telling them that they should. They'll change when they fucking feel like changing, whenever that is. When they come to the conclusion that it would be better for them if they were different. You know what I'm saying? So the same thing with broke people. That, like, there's broke people that want to be rich, but they might never be rich. Not because they're not capable of doing it, because they have a broke mindset. See, there's nothing worse than a broke mindset. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing worse than a limited belief system. I mean, because that's what you're limited to, whatever you believe, and it's much better to be a broke person with a rich mindset than to be a broke person with a broke mindset. There's more hope for the broke person that has a rich mindset, right? Because if you even start to think the way rich people do, then you'll start to observe what rich people say, observe the meetings that they go to, and go to the places they go to. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if you want to be rich, then don't go to the clubs that broke people hang out in. You know what I'm saying? Don't go to the events broke people go to. Don't hang out with, you know what I'm saying? Because you'll end up being just like them if you surround yourself with them constantly. Now you're partying fucking Thursday, Friday, and Saturday and Sunday, and then using all that money to party and stuff. And then you wonder why you don't have enough money to chase your dreams and shit. If you spend less time partying, maybe you could spend more of that money investing into your personal brand, or the video game that you wanted to launch, or whatever it is you want to do. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's people that have a 4-bedroom house, but they live in it. It's just them, and it's just you and your wife, and you haven't even had kids yet. What do you need 2 additional bedrooms for? You know what I'm saying? Because people just want to be fancy. Why not have a 2-bedroom apartment? You know what I'm saying? And then when you have kids, then move out and upgrade so that they can have a room or whatever, So I don't know, man. Like, and it's people with 3 cars and shit complaining. It's like, yo, sell 2 of your cars, dude, and then use the money to fix the problem you're complaining about. You know what I'm saying? I remember I was watching this video. There's a guy that has $50 million, and he complained. He was like, yo, I never get to see my family, man. Like, it sucks. It's like, dude, you have $50 million. Go get on a plane and go fucking see your family. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, so the shit people complain about, man, like, I don't know, man. But yeah, it makes no sense to have that much fucking money and complain about not being able to see your family that much when you have the luxury of having that much money, where money's not an issue. It's not like you can't buy a plane ticket and go see them. It's just, we don't lack, sometimes we lack, commitment, but more times we lack mentors that could show us what's possible. And that's because we hang out with so many like low level thinking people. And now our thinking is just as low level as the people around us that don't know how to aspire to something bigger than what they are currently. You know what I'm saying? Like, how many people I meet who think they're never going to be able to control their anxiety, or matter of fact, get rid of their anxiety. You know what I'm saying? Because for you to control your anxiety, it only ensures that you're always going to have it. Why fucking try to control it? Get rid of that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you could never feel anxiety ever in your life, would you try to learn how to do that? But people don't think that's possible. That's why they've reduced themselves to trying to control their anxiety, trying to anger management. You know what I'm saying? Like, to manage your anger ensures you never get rid of it. You're always going to have anger. Why? Because you're just trying to manage it. You're not trying to fucking get rid of it. You know what's crazy about the Bible? It says put off anger. And it says put off anger because you weren't created to be angry. You wasn't created to fucking to call somebody 35 times in a day and then cop an attitude when they don't respond to you. And then the first opportunity you get to talk to them, you're telling them about how they hurt your feelings and how they did. You wasn't created to be an emotional vacuum and a liability to everybody around you. You wasn't created to be so fucking destroyed when someone doesn't live up to your preference. And now you have issues. And now they're the reason that you're not doing okay. That's deception. You know what I mean? So yeah, man. Give me a second. I just got to read something real quick. Minecraft rocks. I hate Minecraft, dude. I just now read your comment. I fucking hate that game. Nah, but I don't hate people that play it, or I don't hate on the people that play it. I feel like whoever likes it, and I'm glad that Minecraft people, they got some shit they could enjoy, but it's definitely not for me. I hate that game so much, man. I used to get so annoyed when my niece tried to get me to play that game. I'm like, what entertainment value do you see in this, man? Like, it wasn't for me. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, but shout outs to the people who it is for them, like scary movies is not for everybody. Like deep intellectual fucking movies are not for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Or action thrillers, that might not be for everybody. Not everybody likes romance or comedy or, you know what I'm saying? So, but anyways, I forgot what I was saying. Yeah, man. So yeah, it's just, you know, and if you had negative parents or if you have negative environment, yeah, I know it's going to be hard to break out of that because you probably don't know anybody who's fucking positive or who's uplifting or someone who could get you to dream bigger than what you wasn't even dreaming at all. You wasn't even conceiving anything big. Most people only think about next Friday. Why? Because that's the day they get paid. And then they're only thinking about their bills that they got to pay and how they're behind and how they're, you know what I'm saying? Most people don't think about how can I make $600 in one day? How can I make $1,000 in fucking half an hour? I know that shit sounds retarded, but people are doing it. You know what I'm saying? There's too many people in this world for somebody to not be doing that. You know what I'm saying? And when you think of those that have billions of dollars, they're definitely making they're making more than $1,000 per hour. You know what I'm saying? And some of you would be excited if you made $25 an hour. When you let $25 excite you per hour, you won't have the enthusiasm to get it. You'll have the cynicism to criticize $75 an hour. And you're going to be even more cynical towards $200 per hour. Then you're going to be more cynical towards $3,000 per hour. And then that $3,000 per hour, it's not available to you. You know why? Because you're so fucking cynical towards the idea of it being possible for you. So you're limiting your possibility by being that way. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy how your thought process could limit you. You know what I'm saying? Like when I first started caring about all this entrepreneurial shit, making money online type stuff, it was like 2014 and I saw this 22-year-old dude. I'll never forget him. I hope I get to meet him someday and tell him how much impact he's had on my life. But it's crazy because I couldn't think of his name. I wanted to say him in the last podcast, but his name is Darren Fryer, right? Hawaiian dude. And he made claims that he was making $20,000 per month, $30,000 per month. And the thing that caught my attention was when he said, I'm 22 years old and I'm retired. I'm like, who the fuck retires at 22 years old? And I was like, yo, this dude, he must have a lot of money. And he started getting into how much he's making. And I was like, yo, and the reason that he got to get paid that much, he built a personal brand. He built a following. A lot of people knew him. A lot of people wanted to sign up with him because they thought that he was qualified to teach them how to make the same amount of money. There's another guy I could tell you about. You could look these people up if you want. Rodney Walker, the biggest dude in the MCA, Motor Club of America, United States company where emergency roadside assistance, basically. It's a benefit package and stuff like that. He became the top salesman. Why? Because he built a personal brand and everybody fucking gravitated towards him. People were desperately wanting to know, how do you make this money? How do you market? Teach me your formula. Teach me, you know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, once thousands and thousands and thousands of people consider you to be worthy of telling them how to make it, then that many people come to you. And out of thousands and thousands and thousands of people, life is a numbers game. Everything is statistics. A percentage of those people convert into sales. Like not everything is for everybody. So if you're a salesman, don't get discouraged because you told your mother about your product and she said, I don't give a fuck about your product. So what? Like, so what if your dad doesn't care? Like, so many of you are waiting for someone to fucking believe in you, waiting for someone to co-sign your dream. It's your dream. Why do you need anybody? The only one you need to believe in you is you. That's it. You know what I'm saying? Some of you have gifts, talents, and abilities that are even anointed by God. But for as long as you don't believe in yourself and you desperately need, yo, if God believes in you, you know, like, what are you waiting on? You know what I'm saying? The only one, you should be waiting for you to believe in you. You know what I'm saying? Some of you are waiting for 7 people to co-sign your dream. Meanwhile, you can't find one person that gives a damn about your dream. You know what I'm saying? And then you're going to waste all of your time getting mad at people that don't believe in you instead of understanding maybe they don't have time to believe in because they have their own shit going on. You know what I'm saying? You're not even being empathetic towards their situation. Like those that don't believe in you, they probably don't believe in themselves. You know why I think $5,000 per week from your smartphone is possible for you? I believe that shit for you because I believe it for myself. If I didn't believe it for myself, I wouldn't believe it for you. You know what I'm saying? To the extent, like, you know how the Bible says love your neighbor as yourself? We all do that instinctively. Or you're gonna hate your neighbor as you hate yourself, or you're gonna have no belief in your neighbor as you have for yourself. You're gonna have no enthusiasm for your neighbor's dreams as you have no enthusiasm for your own fucking dreams. You know what I'm saying? So to the level that you see yourself, you're going to project that onto others. We're always fucking projecting. Why do you think doctors are going to advise other people to be doctors? Lawyers are always telling other people to be lawyers. Uber drivers they'll be like, yo, you should do Uber. Why should I do Uber? I should do it because you're doing it. That's why. You know what I'm saying? Like, rich people are, trying to get other people to be rich, and broke people seem to try to keep everyone broke. You know what I'm saying? And get jealous when their friends elevate above them. When you had enough opportunity to join your friend in success, but you didn't take opportunity. Now you're mad that they're successful and you're not. They invited you to success. You said no to the invitation. So now they went on an adventure without you and now you're jealous? The fuck? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, anyways, yeah, yo, like, things are possible, man. I hope this inspires you. I hope this motivates you. You know what I'm saying? The question to ask is not, in closing, because I'm probably going to wrap this up pretty soon. The question to ask about money is not how can I make $1 million? It's how can I serve 1 million people? And I know that probably sounds corny, like the fuck, why would I want to serve 1 million people? Why? Here, I'll tell you why. Because there's nothing to gain without servitude. The richest people in the world, they're all fucking servants. All of them. Every one of them. Oprah Winfrey, Will Smith. They're serving a lot of people with something that many people consider valuable. Will Smith movies. Not everybody's a fan of Will Smith. Not everybody's a fan of Oprah. But that's okay. Yeah, Minecraft didn't need everybody to like their game. They sold their 200 million copies. You know what I'm saying? Out of 7 billion people, you don't need to convert the whole entire world into believers. You know what I'm saying? If you could convert 1% of the world, you'd be incredibly wealthy. You know what I'm saying? If 1% of I don't know what's 1% of 7.5 billion or however many people are in this fucking planet. If 1% of the world gave you $1, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Like, your finances would be straight. You know what I'm saying? So if you're an artist, if you're trying to create something, stop being insecure about your shit and thinking that everyone needs to like it. You know what I'm saying? You got to position yourself to find those that like it. And I'll give you some tangible ideas that you could use. Facebook advertisements. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could target, like let's say you have a clothing line that's meant for the ages of 16 to like 28. Let's say your clothing line, it's more catered to that age group. You could go on Facebook and advertise people, wearing your shit. You could get some social media influencers to wear your brand, and then, post an advertisement. And then let's say it's for women. So you could target women from the age of 16 to 28. You could target favorite colors, you could target regions, cities, right? And then run some Facebook advertisements. And a percentage of people that watch your content, you'll get sales from the ads being shown on Facebook. This is how people are making it. They're making their own commercials. You know how expensive commercials used to be? And it's crazy that you could do it from the fucking smartphone that you have. Right now, you could film a commercial, or you could edit a piece together. I see people do this shit all the time, and they run advertisements on it. And then out of 10,000 people that see it, let's say out of 10,000 people that see your commercial, you only get 300 that convert. Let's say you have a product that keeps selling, it's worth $50. What's $50 times 300? And let's say you make that in 1 day. You know what I'm saying? Let's say you make that in 5 days. Like, would it be worth your time to learn how to be a social media influencer? Would it be worth your time to learn how to do Facebook advertisements, YouTube? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is what people are doing to get to where they want to be. they're showing their shit off to a lot of people. You know, they're getting a lot of traffic to a website, and then that traffic is converting into sales, into interested people. Yeah, there's going to be people that don't like your shit, but that there's always going to be, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you stand on. There's always going to be other people to stand on the other side of the fence. It doesn't matter what religion you believe in. There's always someone who opposes your belief system and thinks your belief system is retarded, whatever it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, so whatever color you like, there's someone that hates it. You know, whatever TV show you watch, there's someone that can't stand it. Like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, so don't get discouraged when people don't like your shit. Just because you don't create shit for people that don't like it. Anything you could possibly like, there's millions of people that will like it as well. You just got to find who those people are through advertising, through knowing how to target those people specifically. If you want to learn more about this stuff, type in on YouTube Gary Vaynerchuk. Gary Vaynerchuk lectures. He has like 100 of them, and he teaches you what to do specifically, because he gets a lot of these questions like, how do I advertise? Who do I target? How do I find interested people? You know what I'm saying? And yeah, and just figure it out. Like, people be like, yo, I don't know how to do this. Do you know how to use Google? You know what I'm saying? Do you know how to go on Google and type in your question? Because we're so eager to find another human being. We want people to hold our hands and tell us how to do shit. There's so much shit that I learned how to do that I would have never learned had I not gone on Google and YouTube. You know how many questions got answered through me watching YouTube videos? You know what I'm saying? How do you fix a flat? Fucking there's a YouTube video for that. Like, how do you tie a tie? There was a time that I was going somewhere, I didn't know how to tie a tie. Watched the YouTube video, figured it out. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, yo, like, how to control your emotions, shit. If you would like to learn that shit, watch a lot of videos on the subject. You know what I'm saying? We want to learn how to do shit, but we're not willing to watch, you know, 500 hours worth of content on a subject matter that we have no idea about. You know what I'm saying? Because we rather just complain about how we don't know information and no one wants to teach us, instead of taking initiative to figuring out what's the books that I got to read. You know, going on Google and doing a simple search, books on anxiety, books on how to get wealthy, books on how to control your emotions, books on how to better my relationships. Everything you don't know how to do, there's a book dedicated to the subject. There's a video dedicated to it. And depending on how you learn, we all learn differently. Some of you are more visual. You need video. There's videos on that subject, whatever it is. Some of you are more of a book reader than anything else. That's how you consume your information. There's books dedicated to the subject. And some of you are more podcast orientated. I need to listen to someone talk about it. You know, there's podcasts dedicated to that. You just got to find it. You just got to be curious. You know what I'm saying? And I think the worst thing a human being could have is a lack of curiosity, because then you don't even have, you know, you don't have it in you to ask the questions that sheds light on things being possible that you had no idea about, because you're stuck in, you know, get a job, work until I'm 65, get a pension. Isn't it crazy that, you know, we live in 2019, but we still have a 1956 fucking mentality. You know what I'm saying? It's not 1956 anymore. You don't have to go to college to be something. You don't have to fucking work at a job you hate until you're 65, retire and get a pension and then figure out life from there. You don't have to. You can be rich at 20. You can be rich at, yo, there's fucking 11-year-olds making millions of dollars selling slime on Instagram. That shit is retarded, but it's happening. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, man, like, people be thinking that you know, you got, like, some people say you got to be a certain age to make a certain amount of money. Bro, there's 10-year-olds that are killing it online. You know what I'm saying? I saw this video the other day. I think this young kid, he's like 9 years old, and he gets on YouTube and he plays with toys. That's all he does. And he makes millions of fucking dollars doing that. You know what I'm saying? Playing with toys on YouTube. That shit is crazy. Like, who would think that many people would be interested, you know what I'm saying, in watching a kid play with toys? But yo, nonetheless, shit happens. You know what I'm saying? So ASMR, you know, I don't know if you know what ASMR videos are. You know how much they get paid? You're like, you know, there's so many retarded jobs that you would think it shouldn't be a job. You know, that'd be such an awkward conversation for someone to have, like, yo, what do you do for a living? Oh, I do professional ASMR videos. What the fuck is that? Like, you know, and then you look it up and you're like, whoa, people get paid for this stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, so like ASMR, man, it trips me out. People get paid to whisper politely into a fucking microphone. Like, it's happening though, man. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, you just gotta expand the way you think, and then more shit becomes available to you because you believe more. Because nothing will be impossible for those that believe. You know what I'm saying? Like, for those that, there's so many things that exist because one man or a couple men got together and they demanded that something exist, something that, what I'm saying, with your imagination you could bring forth something into creation, something that didn't exist before you conceived it, and now it exists. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy that I'm talking through this smartphone and you could hear me right now. If you dig up a man from 500 years ago, 700 years ago, and we show him the fucking technology, and I show him that I'm podcasting and how many people are listening, and how many people are going to listen on a replay, he would be like, what type of sorcery is this? You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, man, like people from 500 years ago, they would get so excited about, because I'm sure a lot of them, if you think it was hard to be famous in 1993, try imagining 700 years ago to try to get notoriety, or try to get a book written, or to try to, start your personal brand back then. It was that much harder, man. And people from 500 years ago, they wish that they had the technology we have now, because shit is just so much easier, and it's like the easier shit gets, the more lazy we are in our thinking, you know what I mean? In our imagination, you know what I mean? So, this quote that I had here, it says, possibility is limited only by imagination. So therefore, we do not lack possibility. We only lack imagination. The body could travel to any place that the mind has been. So yeah, man. And I really believe that. And I pray that more of you believe it. So anyways, so that's pretty much it for this podcast. See you on the next one, and take care.